Well, welcome back to another edition of Radiochat. Good to be with you tonight. Got a little time to play around with a couple of shortwave radios. The last time I did a show, I did one on the DX-440, and it was kind of a rediscovery of what I think is a great radio. Like I said, this one has been a real companion for me and with me for a long time, and over the years I've acquired lots of newer radios. This Tecsun 880 is the most recent example, and I've kind of forgotten about the 440, but pulled it out and realizing what a great radio it is. So I thought I would just play around and do a little head-on-head, not real scientific, but just a sense of what these two radios can do. So it is about 9 o'clock here on the East Coast of the United States, and so it's good shortwave time. And I'm just going to tune in here. I've got it on. I've got this one on. I think this is WBCQ out of Maine. 7315. That's a pretty decent signal, not great. A little bit of fading. If I found it on this one, it would be very similar. Let's try it.
Call 875-VOICE. That's 875-VOICE. Support persecuted voice. The voice of the martyrs, the Christian organization.
Reception-wise, it's I would say pretty equal.
Radio encourages you to write to your favorite programs and
I'm just going to tune up the band a little bit. And I should say these are both connected to the same external antenna, so there's commonality there. I'm just going to go up band here and see what there is to discover. These are pretty strong signals, so I'm sure there would be very little difference between the two radios. I'm going to try to find something that's very faint and see what that comparison might be. Might be hard to find a faint station this time of night. That one's borderline. Let's see, 7395. I mean, one of the things I love about this Tecsun, it steps in, it tunes in 5 kilohertz steps with the main tuning knob, which is a real breeze. This is now just the sound from the Tecsun. It's 7395. I have no idea what this is, but it should get a station ID here shortly. It is 9 o'clock. Some nice music playing. Well, if they said it, I missed it.
tout de suite le code pour l'obtenir.
It's in. Okay, it's in French, and I'm not going to hang out. I can probably figure it out what it is a little bit later. Both these radios do a really good job. I think they're both equally sensitive. I find the Tecsun is a lot more pleasant to tune if you're just doing some band scanning. The direct entry, of course, is equal on both. This one I just find very, very easygoing to tune. And although the Tecsun is really renowned for its audio quality, and it does have really nice audio, I find that a radio such as this, the 440, it doesn't have that lower end, but it has a punch where I can read the signal better. I can understand if it's a voice broadcast. I can understand it better on broadcast on the DX-440. So in a couple minutes that I have remaining, I'm going to try to find a sideband transmission, and for that let's go down to the 80 meter band and find something there. Took a lot of time trying to tune in and find a signal that I could find on both, and I was dealing with some pretty weak signals. So I did manage to find one here. This is 3895 on the 80 meter hand band.
Like late January, February, when we got that cold weather last year. I think you're right. We got a little bit of snow. Right, sure did.
So let's try it on the 440. Same conversation.
Well, I know that this year, I think I'd say average temperature for November, December, and what's gone through January would be colder this year. I mean, it's been pretty consistently cool. We get some warm days, but there ain't been a lot of them.
That's on narrow.
We've had pretty consistently below freezing nights, haven't we? Yes, we have.
Okay, you don't hear too much of
I hate this global warming stuff.
pretty spotty conversation. There's somebody else in there. I'm going to see if it comes in better on this one.
Maybe things will fall out.
Well, there's not much there to get a good read on that, but you get a sense. I think both these radios are pretty comparable. They certainly sound different. The 440 is pretty noisy. When that signal was coming in there sharper, and again, even though there's a richer tone coming out of the 880, I find that the realistic, it's a little easier to copy, easier to read, so to speak, a little clearer. The high ends are a little better, And by the way, the treble and bass are flat on this. The 440 does have a tone, and that is actually, it is set to treble, so it is set to give a little bit more punch, but it sounds great. And I think in terms of single sideband, I find the Tecsun is infinitely, well, not infinitely, but it's a lot easier to tune, a lot simpler. Here you've got to kind of get the right frequency exactly and then play with the pitch. This one you can, you can just get close and fine tune it either way. So I find this one's a little easier to tune. But that's probably it for tonight on this subject. I think these are really performance-wise on shortwave, very comparable. Very comparable. That's at least my experience. On these two particular bands that I showed you tonight. We'll try it on some other bands and see how we do. But thanks for tuning. Thanks for watching.